president absolutely needs you, I would relieve you right now.
I will not let this
You
asshole
know, I don't
blow
want to
up
hear another
America,
word
sir.
out of you unless I ask you a question.
All right. Well, welcome to another edition of RetroACTIVE, and this is our first video version. And it's kind of funny that we're doing a video version here, and then I'm moving to Oregon in a week, and then it's going to be done through Google Hangout from here on out.
I guess this is the very last time we will be sitting side by side.
Well, maybe not forever. I'm Kenny from Oddzuki.com, and this is
AJ.
From AJ.
From AJ.
No, Berkshire Guitars, but also co-host of RetroACTIVE. And today we are going to talk about a movie, and this is kind of in the same vein as your Deep Impact and Volcano. Or,
really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you have
but those
Olympus
are
Has
natural
Fallen.
disasters.
But you have Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down. So you have the two movies that came out at the same exact time, same type of premise, but just done from two different studios.
So bad.
It really
it was really bad.
All right, so let's just go ahead and dig in. Olympus Has Fallen. I should have had IMDb up.
Just so you can,
just so that we can make sure we get all actors' names and whatnot.
What?
Right.
I mean, Morgan Freeman, Gerard Butler. We're done, right? That's all we need.
Pretty much. Well, and
that's apparently all the film needed.
Right. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start right from the beginning. Olympus Has Fallen. The premise of the movie is you have a Secret Service agent who, even though he was doing his job, is kind of pseudo-shamed, if you will.
I'm still this movie was really dark.
It was,
and I mean this literally, the lighting. It was like they saved money. They had to spend all the money to get Morgan Freeman, and they're like, we can't afford enough lights. They had one scene that was in the daytime. I'm like, oh yeah, I can see everything. Everything else just pitch black.
It was really, really dark.
The entire movie was just completely dark,
including the opening scene.
You could see nothing.
Okay, now let's talk about this real quick. And of course, as usual, we're going to go spoilerific the entire time.
If you're worried about spoilers with Olympus Has Fallen, you're worried about the wrong things.
Totally, totally. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the poster here. I'm looking at the poster, and I'll put this up on the video as well. Is they put Morgan Freeman as the central character like he's the actual president when he's not. But I guess it was like you said. They're like, we spent all this money for Morgan Freeman. It probably is in his rider that said, but Morgan Freeman gets front billing on the poster.
Morgan Freeman.
I mean,
the thing about
Olympus
Has Fallen. Morgan Freeman.
He's on it. I mean, you have Morgan Freeman, Gerard Butler, as well as Aaron Eckhart.
Who's the other guy?
Aaron Eckhart. He played Two-Face in Dark Knight.
I thought I recognized him, but half the scenes were so dark that I was like, is that him? I wasn't really
Thomas
sure.
Jane?
I was like, this could. Oh man, that would have been great. But then he would have kicked the ass of the terrorist if it had been
he would
Thomas
have.
Jane. He would have been just snap him in half because he's the Punisher.
But all right, so you have this movie that the premise is you have the Secret Service agent that is on the presidential detail. He's actually there with the president and guarding the family. He's in charge of the whole entire shebang. They're leaving Camp David, and it's kind of it starts out kind of very First Kid-ish.
It's really slow.
Without Sinbad.
Oh, yeah.
But you have all the other agents in the limo, and they're it's a nice dark snowy night, and he's trying to. They're like, all right, so how far from the Oval Office to the escape hatch? And the kid's like 3.2 meters, and he's like, he's going to be a Secret Service agent yet.
150 feet.
I don't know. That's how much I really didn't pay attention to that first scene.
There was nothing worth paying attention to,
really,
other than
really
the fact that I couldn't see a damn thing. I'm sorry, I really love movies, but whoever was their director of photography or whatever, who was like, let's set up the lighting. And they turned on a single lamp in the corner, a normal house lamp. They're like,
he's like, we're good
to go. What? What are you filming? You just terrible.
So you have
find the director of photography because I want to send him hate mail.
And actually I'm sitting here looking for it, the director of photography right now, and it's they don't have him listed. You have Tony Ward as the additional photography. That's about it, and that's just for hair. So anyway. to set up the fact that he's kind of a lone wolf, if you will, is a branch falls on the limo.
I couldn't tell. It was too dark. They're driving, and suddenly a windshield breaks, and every fucking car swerves off the road.
It does, and then the vehicle...
And it's a bridge.
Right, they're on a bridge.
Why does a branch fall on them
That's a good
when they're
point.
on a bridge? Like, what tree was this?
That's a really good point. They are driving over a bridge. A branch falls down, like a phantom branch falls down.
They didn't even show the branch afterwards. Like, the window just, like, crashed. And
this bulletproof glass gets shattered, so it had to be a really big damn branch. They would have to have dropped
the whole damn tree on it. Because, like, this is, like, the Brute. This is, like, the president's limo. This thing is, like, phenomenal. This is like you could drive it into a war zone and drive out, and everybody inside be all right.
This is the type of vehicle that has its own blood transfusion unit inside the car.
The windows on it are like 4 inches thick. I mean, this thing can take an RPG hit.
And you know what? The branch was like, nope.
And nature's just like, I see your bulletproof glass and raise you phantom branch.
So it sends the car careening halfway off.
What kind of crappy ass driver? Like, oh, the window's broken. Ah! It just immediately does that.
Hit your brakes. Done. But they
kind of be gentle. It might be icy. I mean, it's not like you'd have snow tires on that thing, or like
because it's the presidential limo in snow. They would have handled that. But anyway, they're teetering on the edge, and so all the Secret Service agents they're running like
everybody else got out of the car like that except for the wife.
And they're like sit on the back of the limo to keep it balanced.
This limo doesn't weigh like 10 tons or anything.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure your body will really change it.
So Gerard Butler runs in, and the president's trying to help get his wife out, and he hasn't even unbuckled yet. And Gerard Butler is like, okay, so it's kind of like that scene. It's like the poor man's version of Cliffhanger at the very beginning. That part you weren't expecting the girl to actually fall in Cliffhanger.
That was surprising in Cliffhanger.
This one, it's like, okay, well, Ashley Judd, which they probably spent another couple of million on just to get her there at the very beginning. It's like Steven Seagal at the very beginning of Executive Decision.
Yeah.
And Gerard Butler's like, you know what, we're about to fall over. Sorry. He cuts the president loose. The limo, flips over, crushes, dead. Done. Ashley Judd is
I don't
dead.
even think that would have crushed the limo, though. I think
probably wouldn't.
She probably would have been okay.
God,
she had her seatbelt buckled.
It would have been funny.
She would have been all right.
At the very end of the movie, the stinger should have been the limo still upside down. She's like, guys, I'm okay.
Guys, are we really gonna just leave this down here?
I'm really okay.
But I love how it's like, and then he's sent to the Treasury Department,
and he's sitting there, at his computer, and he's frustrated with his work. He's not paying attention to his wife. She's telling him stories about coworkers.
This movie is
and
so
stuff.
bad.
It's like, let's take every cliche and throw it into into this movie.
The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm just. It makes me weep for America.
And this is supposed to be a movie that essentially is a love story to America and our resilience.
To quote one of my friends, his name's Kenny, I think he said it was a blowjob for America. I think that's what he said.
It really was. It was because, I mean, you have... there's so many cliches in this movie. You have the North Korea goes in and they use a C-130 and
like a prop. Like this is a transport plane that was designed in like the 60s. I mean, they still use them with the reserves, but they fly into the most heavily guarded flight zone in the United States. They fly into D.C. And the two jets, like also the Joint Strike Fighter, the only airtime it's ever seen has been in movies. Like, it doesn't exist in the real army. Like, it's a $1 billion project that's gone nowhere, but they're all over the place in the movies.
Right.
But they both fly up on either side, and like the C-130 like has miniguns like pop out of the side, and they shoot them both down like that. It's like I'm pretty sure there would have been one behind it too that would have just immediately knocked his ass out.
And they're like, all right, we've seen the pictures on the internet of like the the butterfly flares out of the back of it. So let's make sure we put that in there twice.
They do realize that doesn't actually stop missiles, right? Like that flare system on the C-130 not for stopping missiles.
And they're like, all right, but it'll work. It'll look cool.
It will actually show the missiles like hit the flares and explode like it's a wall. It's like, have you ever seen what?
So, the C-130 pretty much destroys Washington, D.C.
These miniguns, like they don't even really explain like what kind of guns these are or like how they're mounted, but like it inexplicably can also shoot like straight underneath it. So it's like going over the streets just shooting
and mauling
people
yeah,
like monuments and stuff.
Yeah, that's another thing. They're like, all right, let's go ahead and we need to destroy like Independence Day. Let's destroy a monument and let's see it crumple.
Well, mainly the Washington Monument is built like a traditional obelisk. It uses no mortar, so if it got hit by like a plane like that, it probably would crumple like that. That was probably the most accurate thing in the entire movie.
Because all of the other Secret Service agents and all the people that are trying to protect the civilians, they're all running away, and every single last damn one of them gets shot, except for Gerard Butler. He makes it in.
Like the first thing I have to do is just blatantly say that this movie would never happen. Like, there are like 3 known anti-aircraft implements like on the White House. That's known.
That's known.
That's like they have so much protection there, let alone like essentially the private army that's stationed there. It's like, yeah, a group of like 28 guys with AKs, they don't get in there.
No. I mean, for all we know, they have a torchwood laser under the White House.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like they showed like 2 guys with RPGs and it's like they infiltrate it with like garbage trucks and stuff. It's like no. We are talking like this movie's happened after September 11th.
Right.
We are paranoid as shit now. You can't even fart near the White House without a sniper training on you.
Right? If this were pre-9/11, there would be slight plausibility to it. Because we wouldn't be as aware.
Yeah, I don't think we had as many like defense measures on the top of the White House, but let's face it, we did have a real terrorist attack with airplanes.
Right.
That's never happening again.
Ever.
It's not going to happen.
So you have, the North Koreans, they infiltrate the White House. They have some people on the inside working with...
Okay, can we go... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You can't buy a Secret Service agent. That is like the most stringent organization, let alone one of the right-hand people to the president. It's like, no, like if there's even a hint that you're going to get a large sum of money from some overseas organ, your ass is probably getting waterboarded in Guantanamo. You're gone.
Exactly.
Real quick.
But really, are we really going to be... and later on in the movie, spoilers, it goes to show that, no, we're not really scared of Dylan McDermott.
No one is.
He's not effective as an actual threat. I mean, it's just like, no, I'm wearing a business suit, and I'm actually a lawyer.
What's really funny is like his excuse for like selling out the nation to people who literally want to kill millions, like a group of people who just want to murder Americans, is because the president like sold his administration in his view to corporations.
Right.
Like,
so
like that
we're
was
gonna
his
kill
he's
millions.
like, so I'm gonna take my money because I want
Keep
the
talking.
top of my head. Like, I'm gonna take my money because I'll be able to spend it in the post-apocalyptic world they want to create. Like what logic is there?
There really isn't logic there at all.
Not to mention, Cerberus does not exist. That is the silliest thing. And even if it did, how would this terrorist organization learn about it?
Well, they needed to progress the movie. That's the only thing that can be said.
I find it hilarious that this terrorist group, once they get inside of the bunker, like they actually are in the bunker with the president. Like, no.
Let's talk about the bunker, the bunker scenes for a minute, okay? With the lady, the one lady that they were trying to torture to give her code,
and she was being a badass about it.
She was, but I love again, just going back to the tribute to America. When they're dragging her back, she's like, "God bless." Was she saying "God bless America" or was she saying?
No, she was saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag. No, you would not be saying that.
Why would you be saying that?
You would not be saying that.
No one would be saying that.
That would.
Also, this is like a bunker where they're like, "There's no way you're getting in there." It's like because it's like nuclear proof. It's like, but they opened the door up like it was a screen door. Like like guys were going in and out of the bunker willy nilly. It's like, do you have any idea how long it takes to probably open and close those kind of blast doors?
Right.
Like,
I mean, with all the different codes you would have to put in.
They just like, it was like a few things of C4 to like escape into a tunnel. Really?
Yeah.
It's nuclear proof, but one little thing of C4. Now I got out.
Now, one thing that I've learned from Doctor Who series, the first series with Christopher Eccleston, was when they're fighting the Slitheen, they get into the one room in the Parliament, and he's like, so we're sealed in, 4 foot of reinforced steel and all this. They're like, all right, we're sealed in. They can't get in. How do we get out? He's like, right.
Yeah.
It's
like
there's no way that little bit of C4 is going to like, all right, now we're going to go ahead and escape.
Yeah, we drilled it into the wall. We'll get right out. Also, like, they didn't go over the fact that the bunker is like underground, like
deep underground.
Like, they showed them like walk out of the bunker, and then they were like in the lobby. Right. Like, what is it? Just next to the bathroom? It's just that easy to get to. And also, I love that the president's bunker has this system of 3 codes. Like, what's the point of 3 codes if all 3 people with the codes are in the same room? Like, what's the point of that? But all right, the people with these codes who like controlled the self-destruct for every nuclear weapon the United States owns, and they can all be activated simultaneously
at the same time, and they're like, oh god,
like,
oh god.
Let's say for argument's sake that exists. But let's say it exists. Let's go ahead and say it exists. You know what happens when you blow up a nuclear weapon with a charge that's not designed to activate it? It just blows up and becomes inert. Like, you have to blow up a nuke in a very particular way to make it go nuclear. So if like there's like, I guess there's like a piece of C4 or something in every nuclear. I don't know how this self-destruct works, but it's like if you did blow them up, there would be quite a few explosions because we have a lot of nuclear weapons. Destroy the United States? Not so much. No.
But I guess they were looking at this as, movie science, and they didn't take the time to research. It's one of those two.
I also love that, inexplicably, the terrorist group that somehow has the knowledge of this system and who has the codes, like, for a supposedly, like, dark, no one knows about this sort of thing. It's like the terrorists knew everybody who had the codes and where to activate it.
It was Dylan McDermott.
But not only that. Well, why would he know?
I don't know.
Like, Gerard Butler's character didn't know. Yeah. So it's like, why would this other guy know?
I thought I was special.
But it's like how do they know how to use the computers in the bunker? I'm assuming they have some sort of a proprietary iOS. Like, they're not like using XP. You're not going to hop on and be like a paperclip. I see you're trying to destroy the U.S. Can I help? Like that's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
And they also don't explain how they have like a code breaking thing. They're like, oh, you need weeks to do that, and they're just like did it. The codes didn't even make sense because the code to like deactivate it used like a hashtag and an ampersand, like using all these other symbols.
Dude, all right, let's talk about that really quick. The code to stop the countdown. We're like, hashtag. He's like, what?
What's a hashtag? I'm Gerard Butler. I'm too cool for that young kid crowd.
And they threw in the word hashtag just so that they could try to relate to the Twitter crowd.
Yeah,
which is stupid.
That's not even what that symbol's called.
I know, but it's a catchphrase. It's
now
just
like hashtag. What does hashtag mean?
It's like actually going back to watching Hackers and listening to them try to throw out lingo for computer people back then.
Oh, I need to use a double ampersand backspace to get into this triple locked jack-o'-lantern. Like they just make things up. It's like that's not how computers work.
Now let's talk about Gerard Butler for a second. Because
it's weird because I like him,
but
at the same time I loathe him.
It's like he's great. Yeah, or he has the potential to be amazing.
He has to have the roles written for him, I think.
Because, seriously, I mean, it was like, look, I'm John McClane. I mean, I'm playing a character. And, I mean, because this was, all in all, this was a take at, let's make this another Die Hard movie.
If this was a Die Hard film, like if they had just put Bruce Willis in there, this would be hands down the worst Die Hard film, and I'm including It's a Good Day to Die Hard,
which I still have yet to watch.
I haven't seen it either. I'm just assuming this is worse. I mean, mainly because I like Bruce Willis.
Everyone has said that he phoned that one in, but seriously, if this was a Die Hard movie, it really would be the worst one.
It would be terrible. The second one would be better than this one, and the second one was bad.
Yeah,
and I would still rather watch that again.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I won't rewatch this one again, but
never watch it again
ever. You see him go, and he's taking out single-handedly all the terrorists in the White House that are still kind of just roaming around, and it's almost as if it's like Metal Gear Solid, to where it's just like, you know, they get the little exclamation point above their head, and he takes them out. And I love how
why? Okay, go ahead.
They're harkening back to the 80s where he tells them what he's going to do to them before he does it.
I'm going to like, how's he? He has like this weird.
He has like this. I have phlegm in the side of my mouth. Like every time I go to talk.
Every time he talks, but he's like, I'm going to put my blade in your head. It's like, oh yeah, that's a threat, I guess. Like,
he's like,
do real people talk like that?
I guess, but I mean, he tried to do the whole snarky comebacks. I like
him more when he's not an explicit badass. Like in the Rock and Rolla. Brilliant in that, and he wasn't super badass. I mean, he was a thief, and he was kind of a bamf, but he wasn't like, I'm going to take out an army badass.
Right.
Like, he still could get captured, and he wasn't like, I'm going to murder everything that moves. But whenever they make like one soldier, like he got the exact same training as like the special forces guys that are like outside, but they all get killed real easy.
In a heartbeat.
How is it that 8 special forces gunships that are like trying to make a rooftop but get taken out by one automated Gatling gun system? Like, they're surrounding it and they're like, don't shoot at it, but if you do, just shoot the White House.
And then they're flying around because, all right, what we're talking about here is there's a scene where they set up the
Hydra.
Yeah, the Hydra. He's
activating
the Hydra. He's activating the Hydra.
Like a automated Gatling gun.
And
don't think that it's called the Hydra.
And he's like, how do they know that we have the Hydra? And
also, why didn't they activate that to hit the C-130?
Thank you. But you have all these special forces, these guys that are trained to, all right, we're being shot at, evasive maneuvers, let's get out of here and come out of the way.
Just back and forth.
They're like, serpentine.
I'm going to wait until it shoots. Wait. I'm trying to hit the bullets, man. Come on, aim at me.
And they all, I mean, they fail miserably at their approach. And
also, just from a concept point of view, just for a brief second, were I a terrorist group and I were stupid enough to think that holding the president would actually convince our government to pull out 20,000 troops and move it, like, that was the thing, is like they captured the president, they're like, oh, we want you to pull out the 7th Fleet and the 20,000 troops that are stationed in Korea. It's like, yeah, you have one guy, we're not doing that. Like, yes, it's the president, but here's the thing. We can kill all of you, and no one will know how. Like, the president could die, and we could say that this terrorist attack, we could say right when the C-130 attacked, the president died. We don't have to tell the public that we refused to negotiate with terrorists and we let you kill him. Because we are America. like, seriously, you have this room full of people who would be very spooky. Like, this, the group of people who are in charge of all these groups that do all these kind of projects, it's like, they're really not going to blink twice about murdering you. Especially if you did manage to take the White House, it's like, you're never coming out.
Ever.
None of you are ever coming out.
They could have said, you know what, we also have built into this room, because head of R&D is Krieger from Archer. We just press the button and we're gassing all of you to death. Well, all of you will die in like 5 minutes.
The fact that any of them even got in there is complete nonsense. The president's like, no, they're coming with us. The Secret Service would be like, no sir,
not.
They're not coming with us.
We'll put them in a separate holding room.
Like, we have a place where we take guests. Not with you.
And he's like, no, they're coming with us. No.
Yeah, I also loved how everybody's like just giving up their codes. Like that military guy, it's like, he wouldn't have done that.
No,
he was like some high up admiral and everything, and like he just gives up the code because the guy has a knife at him.
There's a reason why they give certain people codes and access to things. I know someone that has codes to nuclear weapons, and it's like, look, I won't even like think about it for longer than 20 seconds.
You die.
Yes.
And he wouldn't give him up.
No, I mean,
like, Kenny is my friend, and if I watched you fillet him, I still wouldn't give you the codes.
Sorry, but Kenny, sorry about it, man.
Kenny, I'm sorry. Your life versus millions of people.
Not gonna happen.
Like, seriously, the president in this is a complete pansy.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, don't give it to him.
Here's the funniest part.
Give it to him.
This is the absolute funniest part, where it's like, if he had just let them kill the admiral, which they killed him anyways.
Right.
If he had just let them kill him, you no longer have any of the codes.
Right.
You're
The
done.
plan is foiled.
And your plan is ruined.
Now, see, if they wanted to go more realistic, they should have. No, then the movie would have ended, so they wouldn't have been able to have an extended
This movie really should have ended the first 20 minutes. Like that C-130, it's like shot down before it even gets to the White House.
And it's like, okay, well, I guess we're done
and then
here.
like the infiltrators are like, well, we don't really have the air cover now.
So
I guess we'll still try and do the dump truck. Oh, wait. No, that doesn't work either because there are 3 particular SUVs that the public knows about,
right?
That are like these super armored SUVs that the White House has, and they have like these insane Gatling gun automated turrets that pop out of the top. I've seen them previewed. They actually showed them on Future Weapons.
I love that show.
But no, it's like there isn't even a guy who has to man it. There's people in the SUV that can take RPG hits. This automated gun comes up and it turns metal into putty when it shoots it. It's like,
nice.
I'm gonna pull up in my my garbage and they're all dead. And it's like you don't get into the White House.
No, you don't.
I hate these movies because it puts all of the men and women who work really hard to keep our leaders safe. It makes us look like we're inept, and it's nonsense. That's bullshit.
Okay,
we are way better at our jobs than this.
I have the exact reason why this movie is the way it is.
Oh no!
The writing credits for Olympus Has Fallen. Crichton Rothenberger, sorry Crichton, and Katrin Benedict.
Who?
This is the only movie that both of them have ever written.
How did this become a movie?
According to IMDb, this is the only thing that they've ever done, like ever, and they put it out there. Now, granted, they are responsible for wonderful lines in this movie, like. And the only one that really comes to mind is the general that when he's talking to the acting president, Morgan Freeman, he's like, well, I recommend that we tell him to stand down and we need to just go ahead and just do what they say. And Morgan Freeman's like, no, we're not going to do that. He's like, but I'm not just going to stand here and watch this guy blow up America. And he was talking about
Butler.
Butler.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler. It's like, so Gerard Butler's blowing up America now?
I also it's just so funny because no one would be like, oh yeah, these 10 people are worth
millions.
The math never works here. They're
ever.
like, we can't let them kill the president. It's like, really? Because he probably could,
right? And he almost bites the dust too. He almost and I like
shot
how
in the stomach. Yeah,
I like how it turns from Olympus Has Fallen to Rocky, to where at the very end Gerard Butler's fighting with the main terrorist, and the president who's sitting there suffering from a wound, he's like, "Get him! Don't stop! Get him, Mike! You can do it! You can do it!"
Really, and like the whole Cerberus thing exploding, it's like it stops with 3 seconds left.
Right.
Can we stop? Can we
every cliche
stop? Countdown timers. Can that just never be in a movie ever again? Even in good movies, I hate it when they have the stupid timers.
Because we have to beat the timer.
Stopped it just in time. It's like,
for once, I would like to see him go and he's like, all right, give me the codes. All right. Timer stop, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Well, here's the thing. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, all right, they blew open that hole. So, where were they going to escape to?
Because the place is still surrounded.
Well, not only that, he was going to blow up every nuclear weapon in the United States.
It's not
where are you going to go?
And it's not like blowing up every nuclear weapon in the United States is going to make the people at the White House talking about say, wait a second.
Well, he was right.
America, like, their backs are turned. Let's go.
Well, no, it's not only that. It's like he's like wanting to keep the president with him. It's like, dude, you just activated every single nuclear weapon in the United States. That hostage counts nothing for you now.
Right?
You're forfeit. Yeah. And you're not just forfeit with like the military or police. No, anybody's going to kill you now.
Yes. It turns into the purge.
Yeah, exactly. He's the one who runs into that person's house. No. No.
Katrin and Crichton sequel.
Oh man,
Olympus Has Fallen into the purge. There you go.
Olympus Has Fallen into the purge. Yeah, that's exactly it. This was
terrible.
next level terrible.
It really, really was. I mean,
I'm wondering who read what producers were there. What were the
let's
producers?
see, producers.
If Gerard Butler
on
was a producer, shame on him.
And by the way, the male doctor's name is Han Soto. That's his real name, Han Soto. That, I mean, that right there, to the parents.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was good.
Geek parents. All right, here, let's go down. Producers. Wow, there's a lot of producers. Gerard Butler is a producer.
Nobody wanted to take full credit for this.
Everyone, they have Mark Gill.
Everyone on this list, shame on you, because you read the script and you should have known better.
The only name that I recognize, the only two names I recognize as producers is Gerard Butler as a producer, and then you also have the director, Antoine Fuqua, or however you say his name.
What else has he done?
Well, he's actually done a fair amount, if I remember correctly. The director of this movie, or maybe not, I don't recognize him. Oh, he did Training Day. Okay, never mind. He did Training Day. He did Shooter. King Arthur.
Wow.
He has done a fair amount. Tears of the Sun. Let's see.
So he's not a bad director.
No, he did Replacement Killers.
Whoever he hired for the lighting in this film was the problem.
Yeah, the DP on this is just not. No.
Terrible.
You know what? It's probably the same guy that was on that set with Christian Bale when Christian Bale went on it. Oh, good for you!
I'll trash your lights. You want me to trash your lights?
From there on, he was never the same. He has post-traumatic stress disorder. He's just like, it's like, all right, we need.
I don't want you to trash my lights.
It's like, all right, we need lighting for this. He's like, he just turns on like a little clip lamp. There.
They can't get in the way of anyone.
He goes back to his trailer, drinks a fifth of vodka. I don't know what to do with my life. And all of a sudden, he just has posters of Batman all over the trailer.
Just like he keeps the posters, yet every time he looks down, he cries.
Poor guy. So our recommendation for Olympus Has Fallen is
don't watch it and watch anything else.
Go watch what is it? White House Down, which apparently is more so.
That one.
Neither have I, but from what I've been told, it's more so like, all right, the White House is under attack, and they're just trying to escape together. The one wannabe Secret Service agent and the president. Let's escape.
I understand that we want like heroes, like we like hero films.
But whatever happened to stuff like Indiana Jones?
But can we stop having situations where a person with the exact same training as all of the men around him is inexplicably better while all of his compatriots die?
Right.
Like it's like, yeah, we all actually have the exact same training, but I'm awesome. All the other guys who are hardened badasses are like, it's right.
Well, if you notice, that actually happens a lot in movies, and we'll go with, again, we were talking about like Volcano and Dante's Peak being another one of those two movies that came out at the same time, same premise, just different actors in different studios.
Well, let's face it, Pierce Brosnan. Awesome.
You know what? I have to give both of those movies credit for showing some really horrific deaths.
Yeah, I think Dante's Peak takes it.
Really? I mean, because
the
in Volcano,
melting grandmother in the lake.
But in Volcano, you also had the melting naysayer scientist, where you actually see him just going, like pulling Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2, just bloop.
Yeah, but I guess like I think the biggest reason why I give it to Dante's Peak is that Volcano's like it happens in L.A.
True. In Dante's Peak, it's up on a mountain.
It's on a mountain next to a volcano. Like, oh, you mean a volcano?
It's like modern Pompeii.
A volcano happens next to a volcano. LA's like there's no volcanoes in LA.
Right.
It's like just the people of LA were too greedy. They dug too deep. They awoken something in the earth.
And Pacific Rim.
The Bell Rock. Just immediately turns into Lord of the Rings.
But then
Pacific Rim.
It's better than Atlantic Rim.
You know what? I don't think so.
Probably not. But you know, still you have very similar bits to where you have the one scientist who had the same knowledge and whatnot as everybody else, but he's like, you know what? I'm going against the grain, and we need to evacuate. Everyone's like, you're crazy, even though all the information points to he's right.
Well, I think that is crazy in L.A. There's a volcano! You're nuts. In the real movie, nothing happens, and he just goes
he's
home.
Publicly shamed.
He's publicly shamed. Dante's Peak, it's like, the volcano's going to explode, and they look at the seismographs and all the other, and they're like, damn, you're right. All right, let's get everybody out of here.
Let's go.
And everyone's okay.
Yeah, except for Grandma.
Real life is just not nearly as exciting as movies, is it?
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, Olympus Has Fallen, 15 minutes, and
Done.
it's over.
Yeah,
It was like, it takes your like he said that. He's like, it takes your armed forces 15 minutes to get here. We took down the White House in 13. It's like, yeah, see, the White House doesn't depend on the army getting there to defend it.
it's defended.
It is defended.
So all in all,
constantly.
Don't honestly. We just gave you the entire movie. Don't bother with
there
Olympus Has Fallen.
no redeeming attributes of this film at all.
Not really, unless you want to.
There isn't even like usually bad action films. I'm sorry, this movie's so bad I just keep jumping over the conversation. But it's like normally like in bad movies like this, they'll have like some shallow redeeming quality, like where it's like they'll have like one character that's just so stupid it's funny, or they'll have naked, or they'll have like something
naked.
It's just nothing. There isn't even naked in this.
I will try to pull some form of good from this movie. Even though she dies within the first 10 minutes, Ashley Judd still is beautiful. I mean,
I could barely see her.
True. Way too dark. The kid aspect was completely and totally nonsense.
And also they saved him like that.
And it's just like, okay, so all real tension gone.
Yeah, except the president's a whiny bitch.
Because I mean, the kid's just like, you would think that the kid would end up being like a tag along for the majority of the movie, and he still has to. He's always in peril.
He's
like
5 minutes.
They're like, nope, he's out and he's good, and the terrorists don't see it. So that's done.
That was like the most accurate part. Is they're watching the guards, and they're like, yeah, they're not there. Go. He's coming back. Don't worry. Speed up. And you're good.
It's like, okay.
They're like, oh, wow, that was the only... Like, I was expecting a robot to eat them or something. Like, they would have some inexplicable, like, oh, yeah, well, we were going to extract the child. It's like, oh, wait, no, there's
like
pop-up turrets that we didn't use.
Either that, or people, hidden as bushes or something.
Like,
it's like they pick up and
a
grab
man
the kid.
walks out of the wall. He's like camouflage. Like, one of the skills of the North Koreans is painting themselves to look like...
It just says it.
just...
I got you, kid.
It is so bad.
But there really isn't
nothing. Like there was no one-liners that were any good. Like that. I'm not gonna let this man blow up America.
I laughed at that.
That was a crap.
I just laughed at that because he was like, because he was like talking like he was a 12-year-old kid. Like, I'm not gonna let him blow up America.
I am a military general. I'm in charge of men. It's like, really?
And then, of course, the end. Again, this is a very humongous tribute to America because you have the one lady saying the national the Pledge of Allegiance while she's getting beat up. Then at the very end, let's show them re-raising the flag.
Also, can we talk about the fact that the C-130 shot up the flag?
Yeah.
Like, the American flag hanging above, like, it got all these holes shot in it. And then, like, the guards up top took the time to take it down.
Yeah, they're
like the bad guys were like, yeah, that's right. See this, America? I know no one's actually watching because it's dark. But...
Yeah. So Olympus Has Fallen.
I thought they were gonna raise like the Korean flag or something. Like I really
put
thought
a Jolly Roger up.
Just so ridiculous.
The Cobra sign.
It would have been funnier if the terrorists had their own emblem that they raised over the White House.
It would have.
I would have been in favor.
Nope.
Of that.
They're like, let's just take it down and go downstairs, have a Snickers.
Yeah. You're not really being yourself right now. You're hungry.
Yeah. So Olympus Has Fallen. No. That's no. The next episode of RetroACTIVE, which we will be doing...
that guy who betrayed the president, he didn't speak Korean, okay? So he took these terrorists' money, and let's say that they were successful. Where was he going to go? He just committed, like, the worst form of treason. Anyone who's related to America is just going to murder him.
Yeah.
Like, even if he did get away, it's like, where's he going to go?
North Korea.
Yeah, have fun with that.
Right.
It's like, I'm really angry because you sold out America. I'm going to go live in a fascist regime?
No, because no one would take him.
Seriously.
They never really think that out.
Like,
they never
the people who take bad guy money, like, unless you're already a bad guy and you're already, like, seedy and you're fairly certain their plans aren't going to, I don't know, destroy the world, like, why would anyone, it's like, oh, I'm kind of not happy with this administration. I'm going to betray America.
I will say this: Dylan McDermott tried his best to pull Alan Rickman with the rope-a-dope of acting like he was friends with Gerard Butler. He's like, oh man, I totally escaped, and dude, I mean, this is
look,
crazy.
I'm so nervous. I can't light my cigarette. It's like, so you escaped, yet you're more of a pansy than everyone else here.
Right, you know, and then they have the big fight between, you know, and there really was no contest. That would be like seriously saying, Kenny, go fight a Spartan. Okay. I mean, it just wouldn't work.
It was, and then like he stabs him, and he's like, "Why'd you do it?" He's like, "I got lost, man. I was lost."
Sorry, my bad.
What?
And then he's just
What,
like,
it took a knife for you to realize that?
He's
Really?
like-
You didn't notice like all of the murdering innocent civilians? That didn't bother you? Like they straight up shot like 4 people on camera. Like, oh, we're not fucking around. They shoot a person, and the Secret Service agent who's like supposed to be protecting all of these people. He might be upset with like the president, but like seriously, like his secretary, he watches her get blown away, and he's like, no, that's totally cool. She was a bitch.
and then he's like, tell him that you killed me. He's like, it's done. And he looks at him, and he's just like, all right, kill me.
Oh yeah, and then he's
I'm
like,
done.
stab him in the head.
Right? It's just like, okay, so yeah. Next episode of Retroactive, I'm not sure exactly which movie we're going to do, but it's going to be done through Google Hangout because I'm moving to.
Sorry, that movie was so bad.
I'm moving to Oregon, and he's going to stay here at Augusta, so we're going to do it through Google Hangout.
Yep.
I don't know. We may end up trying to do it as a live show. You never know. But we'll figure it out, and we'll let you know as soon as we know what movie we're going to do next, and we'll put it out there.
Can we watch a good movie?
I really, really hope so because, I mean, just damn.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting sick of all these really bad films.
Like, we've seen... No, I would say that Man of Steel was pretty good. I mean...
Okay, yeah, I mean, it was entertaining. There was lots wrong with it, but it was entertaining.
It really, really was. So from Kenny and AJ, we will talk to you guys on Retroactive next time. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Have a good one.
Later.